And welcome everyone to the Circle Debate Podcast, episode 90. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live, coming to you live from Twitter, and YouTube Live, and Facebook Live. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the host of Devious One Ivan C. Here with me, Familia, the fellow horseman. One is having video technical difficulties, but he'll be here. But let me introduce my Familia, because I have the one and only who directs you either that way, or this way, or either up or down, all over, so you can listen to Fate Destroyed and the COD as well. The one and only, ladies and gentlemen, the director himself, Chris Kenner, ladies and gentlemen.
That was like a Ronda CM Punk Dolph Ziggler mix I'm working on.
And of course, I have this individual who lives 1,977,000 miles from Winnipeg, Minnesota, Canada, because he lives by the 5 UNs, because he is the undisputed, the unmatched, the unrivaled, the undefeated, and the uncensored money. By God, the most violent podcaster, Mike Lopez.
I love that.
Of course, it's time
he
to
will
get
all
violent.
control delete you.
Delete. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's get this started, but I'm going to let the director take over on this one. Take it away, director.
All right, cool. So we usually do AEW segments, the programming first and then the news afterwards. But some news dropped this past Tuesday prior to Dynamite that is a huge elephant in the room. That I had a couple very important questions to ask that can be answered in yes or no format. And I want to get your guys' thoughts on this, and we can elaborate on conspiracies later. The Cody Rhodes situation. First question. Ivan and Mike, are you ready?
Uh-oh. I'm ready. Talk to me.
Yes or no? Is this a work?
I feel, just by listening to everything of what's going on and all the rumors in your
Yes
windows.
or no?
Damn it, all right. It's a work, damn it. It's a damn fucking work.
It's a work. Mike, what do you think?
No.
No. So we got work and a shoot. I would love to go with work shoot, but I think also I would love a work, but no. Second question. This announcement was made on the same day, allegedly, that they were going to announce the in-ring return of Stone Cold Steve Austin to WrestleMania. Coincidence or not? Yes or no, Mike?
Oh, total coincidence.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose. Wait. Let me clarify here, or let me see if I understand it correctly. What you're saying is that WWE was going to announce Stone Cold, but they didn't because of Cody, or that situation.
I do believe that if this was the case, that they were going to make the announcement, but Cody decided that he may have known that him signing and waiting till that day deliberately would jump the line in the articles.
It's hard to say. I don't think it's a coincidence. WWE.
You think it was on purpose? You think Cody deliberately knew that this article would superpose over the Austin article?
No. So I don't think that Cody knew.
Okay,
I don't think he knew. There you
Ivan,
go.
what do you think? Coincidence, or did Cody wait till that day on purpose?
I think it was a coincidence. Just out of the blue. Well, I'm just like, what? We'll get into more of that, but I just feel like it's a coincidence.
I kind of think that he knew. I think that this offer had been on the table for a while. Not for a while, but you don't just sign the day you find out you have a contract or an announcement or whatever you get. We don't even know if it's confirmed yet. It still, I think, is not yet confirmed. It's just high percentage speculative. But it seems like it would be something he would do. Last questions about the Cody situation. Actually, I got two more, but I'll make them quick. Is this a bigger deal, a more important signing than CM Punk to AEW? Do you think this will be the thing that Vince needed to compete with that segment?
No.
Same here, no.
Same thing. Does not matter.
Doesn't matter.
That. And last question is: do you think Cody is going to use this to have his own version of Pipe Bomb against AEW?
No.
I want to say yes. He likes to have that sense of reality in his promos. It's kind of his thing, you know. And so I wouldn't. And honestly, I think Vince would let him. I think Vince would be like, hey, you know what? Talk as much garbage of that place as you want. Here's a mic.
I think exactly that right there. I think that this is why they're doing it. Again, it just seems to be common knowledge that it's what's happening. So we're just going to assume that it's happening, and I think that's why Vince is doing it. He's going to give him the mic. He's going to let him run with it. I don't think it's going to have the pun intended impact of CM Punk signing over at AEW. I'm curious. My heart is open to see what happens. Am I going to start watching Raw? Maybe once. We'll see.
Yeah, we have to wait to see what's going to happen. All we know is it was for money, but I don't know if it. We don't. All of us don't know what really it is. I mean, they could throw as much rumors and windows everywhere, and I feel like the system will work if they play smart.
You think Brandy was just that afraid of Paige Van Zandt? She's like, I got
you know what? I gotta go because Paige Van Zandt. No, I'm not gonna hang out with these people right here with these UFC people. No.
Yeah. All right, man. That's pretty much my line of questioning. Very interrogation style. So appreciate your time on that one, Ivan. If you want to get us on a regularly scheduled program, take it away.
Back to your regularly scheduled program. And there you have it. Words from the director. You have his coffee mug right there. There you go.
I'm a winner. I'm Dave & Buster's.
There you go. I love it. I love it.
I got Dave & Buster's glasses, man. I'm all decked out in DB swag.
Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. AEW Dynamite recap.
My heart pumps with adrenaline.
Can we say
every time I watch this show?
This was not a bad Impact. This was actually a great Impact. I mean, not Impact. Dynamite. Excuse me. Not about Impact. My God. But this was an impactful Wednesday for me because a lot of things, a lot of teases were thrown around. I'm like, I'm scratching my head. But we'll get into it deeper.
Very well balanced.
Absolutely.
Sort of. We do have something we always talk about that makes it unbalanced, but we'll get to that.
Absolutely. But let's get into the opening segment. Of course, we did see CM Punk, sitting, of course, in the ring, middle of the ring, and calling out MJF, showing the picture. And then, of course, we get the dog. Yes, there you go. And there you have it. The director sitting right there himself, sitting like CM Punk. Of course, with a picture of MJF and CM Punk as when they were kids. I mean, when he was a kid. Oh my God, they're kids.
Fresh off his bar mitzvah.
right after, right. And of course, CM Punk brings out another item out of the box, and we get the dog collar. Of course, they mentioned Cody Rhodes and Brody Lee, rest in peace. And I believe that was his last match. I think in AEW, but before the whole thing occurred. But we see MJF coming out like, shit. He didn't even say anything. He just, just throw the mic down. That's it. So it looks like we're going to have it at Revolution. We're going to have a dog collars match at Revolution. And I hope, I'm not saying, I got to say it. I don't want to say it in a bad term at all. Because the Brody Lee and Cody Rhodes was a great one. I can say the first dog collar match they provided to us was phenomenal. I enjoyed it. But let's see. But I feel hopefully this delivers as well at Revolution. So I'll take it to you directly, Director. Your thoughts of this dog collar match coming in at Revolution.
Cool. Segment was good. CM Punk can talk very well, very articulate. I'm almost a bigger fan of his talking than his wrestling. But I'm coming around. It was a matter of time that picture that we have all been looking at for at least 3 to 4 years made its way into TV and into CM, into Chipmunk Punk's hand. It was a matter of time. And everybody knew before his hand even flipped it around. The crowd knew. The crowd knew that picture was coming. I love that picture. It's very reminiscent of when they had Jericho show the picture of Kevin Owens in his bedroom, just like Jericho with the wall of Jericho behind him when he was a kid, showing his markism for Jericho. Amy Lee with Amy Lita. Amy Lee. Sasha Banks? Who was it?
No, AJ
Lee, whose real name is Amy, right? Amy Lee, is that her name?
Yeah, Amy something. I forgot the J was for.
The singer from Evanescence. I just realized they have the same.
Oh, it's April. Oh, okay, I thought it was Amy. It was April. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Whoever corrected us.
Mike. Money Mike did.
Yeah. I like that. That's cool. It's also wild to think that I think Max was like 14 in that picture and CM was already a big star at the time. And Max is now like 25. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'd like to throw back to the straight edge speech because if I was watching the Ruthless Aggression era during the straight edge society, which I was not watching for some reason, I would have been a huge fan of that. Even though at the time, I'm going to say this honestly, I was on drugs and drinking at the time, I would have still been a fan of that angle because it was a very hated angle. Now it's the opposite, and it's really a funny thing that he had that same I'm better than you attitude that MJF now has, so you see the inspiration. The fact that he was able to silence MJF when he came out, chef's kiss. Max knows how to play that character perfectly. CM was naming everybody that I've been comparing Max to for the past 2 years. I've said he's the best mic man since Piper. CM brought that up. He wants to do things that are. I'm surprised he's not getting soda cans thrown at his head like NWO. Superstar Billy Graham and Jesse Ventura were getting death threats at the hotels back. He had
that one bottle of water thrown at him at Full Gear after
bottle of water, not a beer can like Scott Hall and shit
And then he said in his interview with Chris Jericho he had a cup of piss thrown at him at another show.
That's pretty gross.
Ugh.
It was one. I forgot if it was. I think it was just like an MLW show or something like that, or it was either that or it was AAA. It was one of those two.
Good segment. I liked it a lot. The dog collar thing. Is it too soon? Is it too soon from the last time we had it? It seems. I don't know. I think they could have done something better, something different. Maybe dog collar in a cage with a lid on it. I don't know if that's what they're doing, but that would probably be a little bit better because that will keep the Pinnacle from getting inside the cage. Yeah, that's gonna be the last match. It has to be. That would be if it went past that match, then I would say it's overstated its welcome.
Okay. All right. Money Mike, you're on mute.
What I meant to say was that, yeah, I mean, it would definitely overstay its welcome. It needs to end because, you have a dog collar match, you have that stipulation match, and it's because nothing else can settle what these two, the hatred that they have for each other, right? It has to come to this. And yeah, so hopefully, I'm just hoping that AEW doesn't pull a WWE and starts naming their pay-per-views after matches, because then can you imagine a dog and collar pay-per-view?
Oh my god!
I don't know, I just thought of that right now.
Now that you said it, it will come to fruition.
In the 90s, it would have been a completely different kind of pay-per-view, but I digress. Anywho, I definitely want to say that throughout all of this, my mind had that elephant in the room, as Chris called it, about the whole Cody thing. A part of me thought that either one of those guys was going to mention Cody at some point, and I kind of was distracted by that, by waiting for it, that, I kind of didn't appreciate this segment for really what it was. I wish that maybe the announcement would have been made on Thursday, so that I would have enjoyed it. Well, I did enjoy Dynamite, but there was also that overshadowedness a little bit of the whole Cody thing, and will they mention him, or this and that. So I don't know. I guess I kind of had that throughout the show. But overall, CM Punk and MJF, I'm looking forward to that match. Could it have been a cage? Sure. Hell in a Cell, but called it something else? I would have liked that instead.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Matt Callis.
So overall, since we're talking about the segment in its entirety, you know, I think I made the prediction. The prediction,
Prediction
is, you know, it had to be a special stipulation. Dog collar, it seems somewhat fitting. I was kind of betting close to that with the leather strap match. So I guess I was like, what would you guys say? I was like 60% there. I was thinking it was leather strap with a special referee with Wardlow as ref. That's kind of what my prediction was. Like if you had it exactly, but this is in the neighborhood. But I think if they make Wardlow referee or special enforcer or something, I think that might kind of add another dimension to it. It's like when you make a dish and you add like a certain spice to it, and you know that just adds complexity to the flavor. So having Wardlow as referee, that would add complexity to the flavor of this match.
Getting me hungry, man.
Getting me hungry, man.
Violence.
But like, with this segment, even though they mentioned Cody and Brody, obviously WWE tend to not really mention people that were featured in endeavors. You know how they erase them, they obsolete them right away.
Right.
Here, on the other hand, he mentioned it.
That's a good point. That they do never say something. They never make a parting announcement. Like
No, they never do that. Yeah, they erase them out of their universe, out of their freaking videos. Even like how they did with Ric Flair, the whole, like an example, Ric Flair or anybody, or like Bryan Danielson when he left, they automatically deleted him. They didn't even say, "Oh, thank you very," nothing. So for AEW to mention it, that's why I still feel like it's a work. I feel they're playing their cards right. I feel okay. What about But that's just enough of that. But that's how I feel about that.
The third factor I want to bring up real quick about that, and just make it a yes or no question. George McKay, if you're watching, this is right up your alley, brother. Is this a joint worked shoot? Are they both in on this? And is this the Spartan kick of the forbidden door? Because we all know this would be the biggest vault door to kick the fuck open. I don't care if you open the door between AEW and any other company. The 10-ton mega gate would be this one right here. Yes or no, Ivan? You want it, right? We want this.
Give me what I want, Devin. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. Yes, Devin. There you go. Yes.
Okay, Mike. Yes or no?
I don't want this. I don't.
You don't want it.
I don't want it.
Okay.
Because we know what's gonna happen.
It's just gonna. I don't know. What is gonna happen?
WWE is gonna have their guys win.
Over at AEW?
Yeah, I think so. And
I don't think Tony Khan has he doesn't need the buying power to which you need my Dolph Ziggler on your show even if he wins. I don't think that they need that I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, that sacrifice in balance. I don't know if AEW needs that. They could stay kick rocks if that's what you want to do. Like, I don't think that they need WWE enough to have to make their guys job out just to say Goldberg fought Wardlow or some shit, you know?
I honestly, if it were to have happened, it would have been at the Royal Rumble. Cody was technically out of a contract already.
We all predicted he was number 30.
Yeah,
you know,
I feel like if that work shoot was a thing, it would have happened at the Rumble.
You know, I'll say this we kind of have to take a look at recent evidence more than past evidence, because maybe let's take a look at how Mickie James was treated just recently. I mean, like she didn't win. She can't win. You know, she didn't win because they had other plans, but she looked a lot better than I thought they were going to make her look. So who knows? WWE might be more in like a Pro Wrestling Noah New Japan situation with AEW. Because I'll say that if you look at that card, how the results for New Japan Pro Wrestling Noah were at Wrestle Kingdom compared to What I think it might be closer to that if I predict the future, because it could be AEW, WWE, not exactly 50-50, but it could be 45-60, something like that. Win maybe like 45% wins for AEW, plus it's like majority, like half of the card, and then like more than half of the lower card will be WWE wins if there was an AEW WWE pay-per-view. So you have to look at that as an example, and that's something. New Japan and Noah is very comparable to AEW and WWE relationship wise, and history. In fact, even nastier.
We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Honestly, I think that one. I think we'll wait. We'll wait. I think I'd rather for us to have our hearts open, but wait on it and see after Elimination Chamber, because right now that's the main. That after Elimination Chamber is gonna pretty much predict of what's gonna happen at Mania, and what storylines are gonna happen.
We saw it happen, like, I forget who, but like someone won the Rumble, but then they put their WrestleMania spot on the line. I think it was Bray Wyatt or Randy Orton, something like that. And they put their spot on the line in the chamber, and then that person, whoever won it, got that shot. I don't like that kind of thing.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think after the Chamber, we'll find out exactly what direction they're heading with, and if we're gonna see Cody at Mania or not. But that's something that to be continued with that topic. But let's move on with this one, this match, and this is not only entertainment, but this is also professional wrestling. And that's Bryan Danielson versus Lee Moriarty. Now that match, whoo, mwah, chulada. That was great. That's some good wrestling, professional wrestling. You see, Bryan Danielson is not entertainment. He's done entertainment, but he's a professional wrestler. And he proved that in the ring. The aftermath, of course, we have Jon Moxley. And, of course, Moxley, answered this question. So, hey, man, it sounds so really good. It's hard to say there isn't nothing for me to join you. But there is one thing, because maybe you're scared of wrestling me. And giving the whole story that, they fought. He never beat him, Bryan Danielson. And what I love what Moxie said is when, I will not join with someone that I haven't bled with. And I'm just like, when he said that, I was just like, is this going to happen? Are we going to see it at a Revolution? Director, take it away.
I'm going to talk mostly just about the Lee Moriarty match, and then I'm going to make a couple of quick references. Good freaking match, dude. Lee Moriarty can go, and obviously it takes two to tango, but to go with this version of Bryan Danielson, who is now able to run at full gear, I mean, pun intended, to do what he's supposed to be doing at the pace that he's supposed to be doing it. And for a kid like Lee, who's probably like 22, 23, to go move for move, fantastic. That match that was a 4-star TV match, if that makes any sense.
It makes sense.
Okay, cool. Next thing I want to bring up is Bryan is. It's okay to be inspired. It's okay to borrow ideas, to steal ideas. I don't know if enough people are bringing up the fact that he is blatantly ripping off MMA fighter trademarks for his entire gimmick. A lot of people have no idea that the Yes movement is not his. He had nothing to do with the creation of that. That happened to be Diego Sanchez about 2 years prior in UFC. He would come out to the ring. It was during, I mean, the guy was a psycho to begin with, but he's huge into spirituality. He's big into therapy. He's big into the mindset of fights. But he would come out to the ring during his, when he dropped to 155 pounds on his way up to fighting BJ Penn. He would come out with a cross, like he was exercising the cage, and he would come out and do the yes and the yes cartwheels. The yes cartwheels are a thing. So he'd come out in this picture, yes, yes, yes. And then shortly after that, Daniel Bryan started doing that. Cut to last night. Nate Diaz versus Kurt Pellegrino. Triangle choke. double fingers in the air. Obviously, Daniel Bryanson did not pull off the double fingers, but he did pull off the triangle with the double flexes. I love the homages to MMA in this guy. I love that he is beating everybody with a different, not even a finisher, but a different finish move each fight. I don't think he's repeated a win twice at all. He may have gotten a couple triangles in AEW, but it's kind of always something different. It's like, who says you need to have a finisher? Just beat the guy with the first thing that you beat him with. And I love that attitude about it. It's very work shoot. It's very pancrase. Early Japanese MMA was basically worked shoots. It was sort of staged fights. And Daniel Bryan is bringing that. Bryan Danielson, don't sue me, is bringing that back. And I love it. And I love that he's finding talent that can keep up with him. And I think he's going to beat the shit out of these kids. And they're going to be like, we have a lot of respect for the way you kicked our ass. Let's join your faction.
I love it. Has to be the greatest faction of all, man. Oh my God! Imagine that happens. Oh my Jesus! Money, Mike.
Yeah, man. Daniel Bryan again proves why he is one of, if not the best in the world. And yeah, I did catch that callback to, and honestly, all his callbacks to MMA, including the yes thing. And I'm glad that he's been able to do what he wants in the ring in AEW. It's taken him to another level that we all knew he was capable of. And, it kind of goes to show the difference in styles from the WWE style to anything outside of it. It's pretty cool stuff to see. And as far as him and Moxley, a part of me wants them to join together. I know that the likelihood is not up there, but what if it would happen? So, I kind of have fun with that sort of thing, that they could potentially team up, and what character would Moxley bring to that sort of thing. So, there's that.
Okay, I love it. Matt Callis.
So, I think I'll bring a little bit of history into it and a little bit of ideas. So, if they do get together, if this kind of leads to like the Bryan Danielson Moxley faction, and Moxley goes heel, he's been how long has he been a babyface for? He's been a babyface since the very first pay-per-view, John Moxley. So, if does happen, that would be a perfect avenue for Jay White to be babyface. And let me tell you why. Jay White is one of the few people in New Japan who's defeated Moxley in the G1. And that's a story in and of itself for Moxley. You could really have a monster babyface out of Jay White and everybody would go nuts. It seems like the perfect occasion for that. And then another thing you could do with Bryan Danielson, John Moxley, bring back Minoru Suzuki and have him team up with Atsushi Onita, and then you could have a Cincinnati street fight. That'd be kind of fun. I have to think of what kind of faction it would be looks-wise, because that whole MMA thing is that would be a really cool kind of blood sport. Maybe bring in Josh Barnett into it or something like that, mix that in. So
I see it being like Nexus, but shoot wrestling.
Yeah, there you go.
I like that.
They
like that.
Be wearing the. I don't want to say stupid. It's only stupid because of the way they bury.
What is going on, Earl? How are you?
Earl, Brooklyn in the house.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, fucking all elite factions, but if I could delete 3 other factions just to make room for this one, I would do that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it'd be awesome. You have, let's say 3 or 4 understudies who are learning the technical aspect of wrestling from Bryan Danielson, and then the gritty hardcore sobriety from Moxley. That would be, it'd be weird to see Mox in another faction essentially, but it really wouldn't be a faction. It'd be more like Tough Enough 4.0 or something like that, you know?
I'm sorry. This is every time Bryanson, or Danielson.
Daniel Dyanson and Mons Oxley. Come on, that's me.
Daniel.
Why do I have 11
Mons
notifications on my
Oxley.
Facebook feed? This is gonna get real creepy.
Yeah, it's because it's me.
No, I don't know who this is.
But yes.
Oh, this is like a super fan of my last band. I'm not gonna. That's
Yes,
really,
thank you,
that's
Earl.
really egotistical. I didn't mean for that to sound like that. They just like every Black Crystal post I've ever made, and I'm kind of not into that.
I liked every Black Crystal post, but I mean,
You didn't do it all at once. I appreciate the support, whoever this person is. Thank you.
All I know is that this match itself, if it happens in Revolution, hopefully it steals the show, and it's gonna be the biggest question: who goes over? Though that's always gonna be the biggest question: who should go over? Remind you, Danielson lost to Hangman Page, and Moxley, he was out because of his he's fighting for what he's going through. But now great comeback, and he's ready to go. He looks great. But who goes over? That's the biggest question. Should there be a draw, or who goes over?
The stipulation, it sounds like, is that if there is one, is that the only way Moxley joins is that if Daniel can beat him. That sounds like what he was saying, is that the only way that I'll even consider it is if you beat me. But then I also see Brian's American Dragon. That's what I'm calling him. Fuck it. If Dragon does beat him, maybe it's in such a way that Moxley's like, damn, I haven't had my ass kicked to me like that in a long time. You've earned my respect. I'll join you. So it can go either way.
Interesting. I'll
answer that real quick because
go ahead.
I'm a bootlicker, but I'm also realistic. It may be overhyped to some people. I don't think. It's a hard question because the perception and reality are two different things. I think there are a lot of people that do think it can do no wrong, and if you've watched our show before, and if you haven't, that's totally cool. I get that. We critique the hell out of things that need improvement. We'll get to it, but the women's division is very pathetic right now. We don't like a lot of things. We make fun of how many factions there are. We talk about improvements without hating, and we talk about things we're excited without trying to overhype it and say, it's the greatest of all time. It does give me original ECW and original Attitude Era vibes. I'm 14 years old again. I'm marking out. I'm standing up. I'm screaming at the TV. We've all shouted at Mike's house last year. Certain people can blow it out of proportion, and that's fine. That's cool. There's no harm in that. It's up to you to decide what you like.
Love that. Anybody else wants to ask for that?
El Dragon Americano Daniel Bryanson. Thank you, Facebook user. I don't know who that is, but yeah.
Yep. Are you on mute, Mike?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I do think it's overhyped, and I do think that, I take that back. It can be overhyped. Each person has their own opinion, of course, and how much of a mark they are to whatever they're watching. For me personally, yeah, I feel like it can be overhyped sometimes, but nothing is perfect. However, I do enjoy the matches that they have, and I honestly am more entertained by the AEW matches than WWE. Sometimes, yes, I understand that there's botches and stuff, but as far as the entertainment goes, I find the AEW matches more entertaining.
Love that. Do you have an answer, Matt Callis, for that question?
AEW is, I'd say, if I follow Gary Vee, how he responds, it's properly hyped. Not over, not under, properly. It's like the, what do you call that? It's the chamber, it's the cradle or the breeding ground for good things to happen. That's solid.
Awesome. Yes. Very sure to subscribe to the Wrestling Experience, Earl, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll be subscribed as well. Absolutely. I think we are subscribed, but I'll double check if we are.
But yeah, just to keep it simple, it's the cradle for good things to happen. That's
all right. Now, let's get into it very brief. I want to get this as much as possible. Now, let's get into, of course, the Gajote. The Gajote and Hager losing. The Gajote and Hager losing to Santana Ortiz with DDC, of course. Eddie Kingston returning. But see, I don't know where they're going with this direction, director, so I want you to go ahead and take this, away very briefly because I want to jump on to the main event because I think that's the one that I'm excited for the main event. But take it away, director. Your thoughts about this? The Gajote and Hager losing to Santana Ortiz and Eddie Kingston now back in the fold. Are we going to see Kingston, Jericho at Revolution?
Maybe. The match itself was good. I believe Santana was the one who, in my opinion, stole the show and dominated both Hager and Jericho. I do believe it was him. He was the one that had his hair was not tied back. His hair was more froey, more Ming, I guess. Is that there? I believe.
Yes.
Those chops in the corner and the chop to Hager's backside had no right being those crisp. He was the first chop he hit on Jericho in the corner was so sharp and loud that you even saw him pause to react to it. Go back and watch it if you want to. But he hit the chop. The whole crowd was almost silent. They didn't even move. It was so. It almost sounded like a sound effect, like when Bianca got hit Sasha with her hair whip at WrestleMania, and he took a step back. He was like, and then he did it again, and it wasn't as loud, but it was still effective. But god damn, that chop! I would not like to take that chop.
Hell no way. Oh.
Yeah, Hager looked real good. They said he was training for a fight. He dropped like 20 pounds in whatever body fat he had left over and just looked shredded. Eddie Kingston factor. I don't know if he was didn't seem like he was interfering in the match one way or the other, but it did appear that he accidentally interfered. And then obviously Jericho misconstrued that as he was helping Santana on Ortiz, which is fair. So you would attack the guy you think's helping your opponent. So yeah, there's going to be something there. Maybe a match, maybe not a match, maybe like a conversation, maybe they become bros. I don't know where this is going. It's really weird because Eddie kind of just jumps tag team ships and doesn't really land anywhere. He was with Moxley. They were friends. They were enemies. They were friends. He goes to Death Triangle. Friends, enemies, friends.
I can see that too.
I don't think Eddie's going to beat him. Eddie actually probably hasn't won any match besides like a tag match with Moxley I can think of. And then the outside scramble between Jericho and Eddie Kingston, man, it was not good. I don't know if this is storytelling now that I say it, but Jericho went after him. It was like throwing punches through, I guess, security guards or whoever was trying to help him not punch. And Eddie kind of just went like this. I'm like, now that I think about it, maybe he wasn't trying to hit Jericho. He was like, don't make me hit you, man. I wasn't out here to hurt you. I wasn't trying to hurt you. Like, don't make me hit you. That might be storytelling because it looked real awkward. It looked like he was like, I don't know when to hit you, but it may just be him like not wanting to start some shit with Jericho because that's the story. So I don't know where it's going, man. Like the Santana Ortiz thing, goddamn, those guys are good. That's got to be done. It has to be over. They've already moved Sammy on to a different program. I think Inner Circle, rest in peace. It had a good run. I'm not heartbroken. It's got to be over. I'm okay with that. We have good memories. We had 2 stadium stampedes. The memories are right here.
Memory remains. Well, yes, Tyler Peters from Rewind Wrestling Network. Shout out to Rewind, who's part of the league, and make sure you subscribe to him as well. He's, this Tyler Peters said, finally Santana Ortiz are being pushed as serious wrestlers again. Eddie fits more with those guys in the Inner Circle. I agree. I think we're gonna see them going. Yeah, I see them going heel, and I see that happening. And of course, Earl Santana Ortiz joined Eddie Kingston to bury Jericho. That could happen in Revolution if the match happens between Jericho and Eddie Kingston. I think I will see Santana Ortiz finally
like
just
a new LAX or something.
Yeah, I mean it's somewhat like a reunion, you could say. But but this will be different. I believe so, and I think they fit. I mean, they perfectly fit. They mesh together.
I gotta say it's a major victory for Santana and Ortiz because, like, keep in mind, Chris Jericho and Jake Hager are both former world champions.
Yes.
You know, if you beat a team of world champions, that means you're pretty dang good. You know.
Yeah, but Jericho and Hager aren't traditional tag wrestlers, so there's always a disadvantage storyline for the experienced tag team to beat the non-experienced tag team.
Oh, and by the way, Chris, the one who said you mean El Drago Americano, that was Leo.
Oh, what's up, bro?
Yes, Leo, that's right.
I love it!
I love it, Leo. But yes, Money Mike.
Yeah, Leo, just put your name at the end of your comment because it doesn't show us that. So we know it's
And you too, Tyler. Any Facebook user, put your name below on that.
Yeah, because it just says Facebook user. We have no idea.
Go ahead, Money Mike.
As far as this, what's going on here? Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of happy for Santana and Ortiz. I'm happy for them that they're going to be able to break off and do their thing and be taken more serious in, not that they weren't before, but it's kind of maybe even go after the tag titles and maybe even win them, of course.
They needed to a long time ago, by the way. My apologies, but yeah, they needed to.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
They've
with
never
that.
had them?
No,
Holy
never.
shit. Wow. I know some
Yeah.
shit, but I thought they had it at least once.
Yeah, they're one of those teams that
Was it
you
Jericho
gotta
and
put the
Sammy
belts
had
on
them?
them.
No, none of them did.
No, but they kept getting title shots over Santana Ortiz. That was kind of a conflict right there, right? Something like that? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's what I made think of.
Yeah, and it always seemed, and honestly, like the point that Santana and Ortiz were saying that, we were too busy fighting Jericho's battles and the whole American Top Team and the Pinnacle sort of thing, that distracted or that put them out of that title picture or tag title picture. So now they can break away, they can go ahead, and dare I say, I kind of want to see them with the tag titles more than Jurassic Express.
I am with you 100% right there, brother. You nailed it right down the middle. Yes.
I vote yes on that as well.
Yes on Santana Ortiz. Vote now.
Santana Santana Ortiz versus Red Dragon, Santana Ortiz versus Briscoes, Santana Ortiz versus. Well, they already faced FDR,
the
but
Gun Club situation has yet to be resolved, so we still need to finish off the Gun Club versus Jurassic Express, which is as mid-card as it gets for tag titles. If there was a intercontinental equivalent of tag titles, those are the teams that would be fighting for it.
Okay. I like that. I agree.
Please don't do that. We don't need that. Don't listen to me, Tony Khan, for once. Don't listen.
He's gonna listen to you. Matt Callis, any final thoughts on this before we move on?
I gave the main idea. Just I want to see Santana Ortiz mixed up with all the tag teams there. There's so many good ones. So
yeah.
Yes. And of course, the next one. We got no host barred. I guess anything goes between Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez. By the way, I never thought that fucking Kreese was going to show up at Dynamite. I did not expect that. Oh, you know what to do. She's weak. You know what to do.
Finish her.
Finish her.
Strike
Put her in a body bag.
No mercy. No mercy. No mercy. I say this match itself was great. Was it like top notch? No, but it was one thing I didn't enjoy. At least we're able to see Mercedes now be elevated once again, and I'm glad that she was able to do it with Thunder. And this is Mike's. Look, I'm going to say it right now. This is Money Mike's prediction all along since day one, since Britt Baker won the AEW World Title. He said it himself, DMD, and you said it, Mike, and you could vouch for that. And I'm preaching for you. You've been saying it. It's going to happen. We're going to see Thunder versus Britt along the way. And when that happens, Thunder's going to win.
Yes.
Right?
And I did mention to my good buddies at Clark Street Wrestling or Wrestling Podcast that I did think or believe or predict, I guess you could say.
Prediction! Yeah!
That at one time or another, both Jade and Thunder Rosa would have belts, and it seems that it's going that way. I do think that that's where it's going, and I'm very glad because, you know, Thunder Rosa, she came in from NWA, has all this momentum, and has what it takes. I feel to be the champion in AEW right there. So why not allow that to happen? And a lot of people are rooting for her. And I've actually met Thunder Rosa, and she's very chill, very cool person. So yeah, she deserves that one. So I'm happy for her if and when it happens.
Oh man! But the match overall between Mercedes and Thunder, I mean, take it away. You already take it away,
Oh
brother.
yes, Sensei Kreese said it all. Finish her. She's weak. There you go. Um, it was a fun match. I always enjoy these kinds of matches, especially with the women, because I have not seen enough of them, and I feel like yeah, they know what they're doing in there, and it was entertaining, and just the way it all turned out, right? Where Mercedes and Thunder Rosa kind of teamed up at the end there. It was cool. It was cool. I think that's what they want all along. So now when Thunder Rosa is getting attacked, someone is right there to help her out.
I would like to see Mercedes and Hayden. That's going to be, I hope it delivers if that happens next week on Dynamite. If they announce it, you never know. Or they might save it for maybe Revolution. Who knows? But I wouldn't mind seeing Jamie Hayden versus Mercedes Martinez. I'll be intrigued. Director, talk to me, baby.
Match was as good as it can be for like a 4-minute hardcore match. What was the move they were going for that not a botch, but the table didn't break? Was it like a brainbuster?
Fisherman brainbuster.
Hashtag I am the table.
God damn, rest in peace. Holy shit, bro. I'm never watching that highlight ever again.
Holy shnikes.
Tommy Boy reference, I'm into it. Right along here. Here's
not here, but right here.
I love it, brother. Man, if you haven't seen that movie 1,000 times, your childhood sucks.
I've seen it 1,000 times.
Here is what happened. This is easy. This is laid down like carpet off the roll. We are going to get Mercedes Martinez and Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter and Rebel Regal in a tag match. That's happening. That's the move. That's what you do when you're Britt Baker, is you let your henchwomen divert the targets away from you. After that match happens, where Mercedes and Thunder Rosa win, maybe they have a gentle ladies agreement that they have one more clean one-on-one, and they mutually respectfully agree that whoever wins that match gets Britt Baker. Or Britt Baker pulls the card out and says, hey, you guys beat my girls? Fine. You want a title shot? You two figure it out. That would be the move.
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
I love it.
There's no reason that doesn't happen. Yeah, that's the match. Whoever said that, it doesn't. You said that. Okay, so I thought that was a quote. Yeah.
Just sidebar. According to the rankings, Thunder Rosa is number 1. So
say that again.
According to the rankings, Thunder Rosa is number 1. So I don't think there needs to be another match.
Hey, Clark Street, do the rankings matter?
What's that? They said yes.
I can't wait to see this. I cannot wait.
I did say yes, Mike.
But who wants to answer Earl's question here? What's everybody's thoughts on Jade Cargill winning the TBS championship?
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
I'll say it means
we're Jade fans. We know that she needs work. We know that she looks good in squash matches. We know that a lot of her botches aren't necessarily her fault, but she is putting in the work to get better, and I love that.
It really means the TBS title is for newer wrestlers specifically. It's not really as much for veterans. You know, the women's world title is the top of the heap, and this is for up and comers. You know, who knows what new titles could come up in the future. But since Jade's the first champion, it really means this is for newer wrestlers. It means somebody else new could beat her for it.
Anna Jay, damn it.
You think Anna Jay's next? You're fucking smoking.
I know. I'm just.
I'm a huge Anna Jay mark, but no.
I just wanted to say that. I mean, yes, so TBS Championship is like an IC title. I'm glad that Jade won it. And she's training with Bryan Danielson. Oh, yeah, Chris Statlander. Maybe she can win it too, or Ruby Soho. But, maybe Ruby Soho could be next. But I'm hoping that as we're seeing Jade progressing in the ring, especially with her last match against AQA, it was a little bit impressive for her because now she was able to take the moves that AQA was giving to her, giving her. So I'll commend her for that. So little by little, we're seeing Jade progress, and it's a homegrown AEW talent. So it's not a former WWE or a former any other promotion. So it's
right out of their power plant or whatever they want to call it.
Yes.
I don't know what they call their. I don't know what they don't have.
Yes.
They don't exactly have like a place you go. They just have like people.
Yes, Bryan Danielson is training Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
She asked for help, and now Bryan is going to be helping her. So I love that.
Much. They're not stagnant. They're not just. I don't want to harp too much on Full Sail and what NXT's doing, but it's like the same two guys for the past 10 years. And all credit to Sarah Amato, who helped the women's division. But like, you can tell every wrestler in 2.0 is training exactly the same way. They just look like the standard create-a wrestler in a 2K game. Like their moveset just looks like the standard preset.
It's like there's only so much you could learn just from Matt Bloom. Come on.
Yeah.
From Hugh Morris.
Tensai.
Oh, Tensai.
Can't bring Hugh Morris into this. I think he got fired for illicit reasons. Is that correct?
Yes. He got fired because
diddling the kids or something like that, or not?
Bullying his students.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Final thoughts on this, Matt Callis, on this Thunder Rosa Mercedes Martinez.
What a babyface turn for Mercedes. I remember like her NXT, she was a heel. So it's really cool seeing people like really get a feel of their good guy side. Mercedes. I think Rebel's kind of like a fun, because in Impact days, Rebel was more of a babyface and sexy, fun, dancing. And now she's all like you see her fight in India. It's all dancing and then like 60% wrestling. But this is like
kind of reminds me a lot of Raquel, whatever Raquel's last name.
Raquel, what? From NXT, you talking about Raquel Diaz?
Yeah, is that her name? The women's champ or something?
Yeah,
like that?
the former women's champ. Yeah.
They look like sisters and fight very similar. So
big, powerful, power girls.
Yeah, I actually don't know if.
I think you mean Raquel Gonzalez.
But yeah.
Oh, Gonzalez. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, Gonzalez.
We don't have enough, but yeah, with Mercedes Martinez, we don't have enough big, like tall, power baby faces. Like Ryo Mizunami is. She's back in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. So.
And Hikaru Shida, she's back in Japan too.
Hikaru Shida's back in Japan. So we're gonna need some more really like strong baby faces because I think there's a little bit like at the beginning AEW was a little bit baby face heavy and now it's a little bit the other way around. So,
which is not bad at all.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the main event, and then I want to talk about one subject that I think you guys. I have a question for you guys, but let's get into the main event, and that is, of course, the TNT Championship. Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara. And let's see, what everybody thoughts of Big Swole comments?
We talked about it when it happened. I don't know what she's talking about because you have every race, color, creed. You have trans, cis, straight in AEW. Unless there's like some shit that she just couldn't articulate correctly, AEW is about as diverse as it gets. There's no trans wrestlers in WWE. In we have Nyla Rose and Sonny Kiss, who is fluid. We have, I'm just going to spit races out, black, white, Mexican. I mean, I can't think of a person from India, but that's covered in most companies.
Yeah, Filipino on AEW.
You're bringing in Japanese wrestlers, you're bringing in Mexican wrestlers, English, Jay White's from New Zealand. Like, what lack of diversity? And we talked about this when it happened. I don't know what she's talking about. I'm not judging her comments. I'm just asking for more details that she didn't provide.
Yeah. It's more like main event level, I guess she was talking about, I guess you could say.
A
But
6-foot black woman has a title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know. But yeah, let's get into it. I want to get into the main event. So very briefly, this was a great match, I'm going to say. I mean, he very shortly, but fuck! You motherfucker had a kid. Where's your boss? And there you go, going your boss ass, killing the fucking match, and I was enjoying it. I was like, damn, oh my god, there we go, back and forth. And so there you go. You sang your fucking biatch, Jose, and then there you go, here you come. You're gonna kill everything again, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. I'm just like, so are we gonna get a triple threat match here at Revolution, or what the hell's gonna happen? Because I mean, for a fact is they're pushing for Andrade to maybe becoming the TNT champion, and I think it's looking that direction. But the other thing that got me, thinking, Matt's in the picture. So what's gonna happen with that? So a lot of things could happen, and I'm throwing this conspiracy right away. And I apologize. I want to get this out of the way before I ask you, gentlemen. This could be the end of HFO. I think Andrade is gonna buy him out or buy out his team.
Look who's about to debut, Ivan. Jeff Hardy.
I was getting to that because I was going to get to that because he is coming for sure. And even though people are not saying they're not, but he is. I mean, he's gonna. It's inevitable. He's. I hope he's Willow because he's teasing Willow. What I say? He posted on social media. He tells me.
Did you guys catch the way? Remember when Jeff Hardy left WWE?
Yes.
How did he do it?
What the recent one, or are you talking about the one?
I know what you mean.
Over the barricade.
Oh yes.
Casually out through the mezzanine.
Yes.
What happened last week? How did Matt Hardy leave Dynamite?
Same
over
thing.
The barricade. He's back to the ring. Same camera angle. Hard camera. Top left. Exited the same way.
Yeah. There you go, and there you have it. And I feel that Andrade will take over HFO. And there you have it. I think that's what's gonna happen. But this match, Andrade, way you had to kill it. Damn it, I was enjoying it. But now it looks like we're gonna see it's either gonna be a triple threat or Andrade versus Darby for number one contendership, and then goes on who faces maybe Sammy Guevara, maybe. Like how Earl said, maybe that could be fire too. Maybe the winner of that will face Sammy later on in the show. That could happen too. You never know.
Darby is really good against high flyers. Every time you put Darby up against a traditional high flyer, they make magic happen.
Oh man, definitely he does. Director, take it away for the main event.
This is the second time, I believe, that they have wrestled Sammy
and
Darby.
In AEW, yes. No, third time.
That's 3 out of 10. They're going to wrestle a lot more. Their cross are going to pass for the next decade. And I'm excited for each one of those matches. The angle, the match was good. The match was wild. We didn't get to see the crazy holy shit is he dead spots. I mean, Sammy's hitting the cleanest cutters I've ever seen. He's between the ladder cutter and then this suicide dive cutter. Yes, keep innovating the cutter. I'd never want the innovations of the cutter to stop evolving, and Sammy is the guy to take it to the next level. Next thing you know, he's going to be hitting a shooting star press into a cutter. The opposite of the Justin Gabriel thing, which is my favorite cutter of all time. I think that was Justin Gabriel, right? Or was that? No, it was the other guy.
No, what was the other guy?
I think it was Seidel.
Yeah.
Matt Seidel.
Sorry, yeah. That's the number 1 RKO of all time. Fuck that WrestleMania thing, RKO. That was cool. But yeah. Angle-wise, it's just weird. I think it's going to be Andrade for sure. He's going to be next to win the belt, but how or who? A triple threat, maybe. That would be cool. That would be crazy because Darby not only, like you said, does good against flyers, but he also does good against guys that can throw him across the room. Because that's kind of his forte, is the bump taker right there. But if it's not a triple threat, I want Andrade to go through somebody to earn the shot, and he'll have to go through Darby. But then Revolution's in a week, right? So there's not enough time to make that match happen unless it's tomorrow on Rampage.
So what is it, March 6th? So we're the 17th, so we're looking about 2 weeks.
Okay, so have Andrade go through Darby, get a clean win. Doesn't hurt Darby's record because people aren't fan of Darby because he has a perfect record. They're a fan of him because he kills himself in the ring. And then have Andrade versus Sammy. I don't even know how I feel about Andrade winning the belt. Because Sammy has won and lost it like twice in the past like 60 days. And I'm not a big fan of that 50-50 booking at all. So if Sammy beats him, that could cause the conflict between the A-Hoffs, let's call it. Because it's everybody can say that all day long.
Oh, shit.
So let Andrade lose, blame the A-Hoffs, cause the conflict, have everybody from the A-Hoff beat the shit out of Matt, then Jeff for the save. That's the move.
A-Hoff. I'm gonna start fucking calling it that.
That's what it is, man.
Oh, shit. I don't want to come up with this shit, man. Fuck, I love you, man.
Dude, I used to smoke a lot of weed. I think it just never...
Even Earl agrees. He's like, I agree.
My fantasy booking, what I want to see, I want it so bad that I just have to say it and hopefully it happens. And that would be great. That would be fantastic.
Money Mike.
Yeah, it's hard to top that for sure.
Not bad.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, it's interesting, and I like this about AEW that it's not so black and white of who's in the title picture and where are they headed. We have moving pieces going on here. We have Sammy Guevara, he's the champion. Darby wants a shot. He got his shot. And Andrade is in the picture now, but then there's also Matt Hardy, who may or may not bring the Hardy Boys back. There's all these things going on at once in one storyline. Reminds me of the Attitude Era in that way, where there's many characters involved in the story. It's not just, we're going to have this match over and over and over again, like in the other place. But yeah, I'm intrigued. I can't wait to see what happens. I can't wait to find out what the match at Revolution is going to be, right? Because Andrade, sure, I wouldn't doubt that he could get that title shot at Revolution. Maybe, like you guys say, all that booking, that masterful booking that Chris just put together.
That's right.
And Tony watches the
kind
show.
of off the top of my head too, so that wasn't like I planned that shit.
That's just good shit. That was just good shit.
I hear there's an EVP position available now.
Oh, hey, that's right.
There you go.
And now you can take over the theme song.
Hey man, I love Florida. I've been to Florida twice. It is like a swampy California. Let me tell you what. I'll take a move.
There you have it. Oh man, Matt Callis.
So I'm thinking they could do this: Darby Allin versus Andrade versus Jeff Hardy triple threat at Revolution.
What?
That's pretty solid. That's a pretty solid booking, and the winner of that gets the match with Sammy Guevara. Darby could get the rematch. If not, it could just be between those two, or one of them could face Sammy, and then because of that interference, it's still somebody's gonna want another match. So.
I think Jeff Hardy's gonna be the last contestant on that. What is it? The Face of Revolution ladder match. I have a feeling he's gonna be the last.
He'll be there.
Oh my god, do I love that too.
Yes,
I thought you were gonna say the Go Big Show.
Oh no! Yes, we respect that as well, but sometimes they kind of like now they're too much, with the CM Punk and MJF.
It's half and half on overstated and perfect timing on storylines.
Yeah, definitely. Now, the question I wanted to ask you, gentlemen, because during that show, we did see a little segment there that got everybody in the world questioning. When we saw Malachi of course, talking to Brody King and then putting his card down. And then right behind him, a door opened and a glance of someone. Now, the biggest question for all of you gentlemen, and I'm just throwing two names in this as I'm putting it right now, because there's already in talks of these two individuals and already have the pitch idea for them. But these two names were brought up, but I want to get your thoughts. If you have other names, announce it. Could this third member, could it be Buddy Matthews or Wyndham, the third member for the House of Black? So I'll let you take it away, director.
Oh, it's definitely Buddy Murphy because he just signed a contract like yesterday.
All right. So it's Buddy Matthews. So that's what you say is Buddy Matthews would be the third member.
Yeah. I don't think that they're going to roll over any previous storylines, but Buddy is definitely a mid-card wrestler right now, so putting him with a on-fire main eventer like Malachi and his henchmen is a better fit because Bray is such an alpha male that you cannot have two leaders of a dark faction like this. You can't have Undertaker and Kane both running each other.
Bray Wyatt, okay. So you say Wyndham. Could be Wyndham. Money Mike.
Yes, my
He also doesn't
sources.
wrestle like them. Like as far as like styles go, like Bray is unfortunately a entertaining wrestler, but not a very good wrestler. And I'm not saying he's bad, but I'm saying like look at how good Malachi and King are, and then look how good Buddy is, and he's almost shaped like Pac and almost as fast. So I think that he's going to be the runner. He's going to be the sprinter in the team.
He's the assassin, right? The assassin ninja. Like,
He's going to be the fucking zippity doo dah guy. That's a terrible gimmick. If I return to pro wrestling, I'm going to be zippity doo dah guy. Worse than El Gallinero, which I was.
Mike, you were saying?
Oh no! So my sources have confirmed that it is Buddy Matthews. So
Yeah, it's
yes.
like not. It's
and you know how reliable I can be. So yes, at 100%. There you go.
You have it. Oh, wow. Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
You heard it here. First.
Right here, it's confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching live or listening to the audio platforms, it is confirmed. We spoiled it, unfortunately. Sorry, Kyle. I didn't mean to.
It's a prediction.
It was a prediction over here. That's why he's the most violent podcaster. You see? So sorry, Kyle. He's not. I know you're the spoiler Morin from Joe from the Ring, by the way. Much love to the podcast, but Mike just spoiled it. So there you have it. Matt Callis. So I mean, you tell me.
You know what got everybody's eyes, what kind of put Buddy Matthews on the map? This is something everybody should go back and watch. Kazuchika Okada versus Buddy Matthews. What's up?
Was that him? That was him, right? That's what put him on the map?
I don't know.
I agree.
Rey Mysterio's daughter, right? Am I wrong? Wasn't that the angle?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Okay.
There it is. That's the answer.
Dad,
Nobody's cared until that angle
I love
happened.
him.
Well, Buddy Matthews had a match with.
She was 18 at the time.
Yeesh.
So Buddy Matthews had a match with Kazuchika Okada in New Japan Strong, and you know that got a lot of people's attention. Like even Okada was kind of like Buddy Matthews, and that's definitely a match that everybody should go back and watch. In addition to the fact, I'm thinking it could go kind of like this. It doesn't mean Wyndham can't be in that storyline or world. Maybe he can't be a member of the House of Black, but he could be the one facing them, kind of like a whole Undertaker versus somebody else with a dark gimmick type of thing going on. You know, because it was Undertaker versus Kane, so you could have Wyndham versus 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 Brody. So you know you could do something like that. So.
Okay. All right. So listen, that covers for AEW, ladies and gentlemen. But now we have to get into. Well, very brief. I want to congratulate Samoa Joe being announced the inductee for the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. So I want to get very brief thoughts here from everyone. Director, since He's not the last one. So on the 21st, they're going to announce the final member in the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. Who is the next person that deserves that Hall of Fame for Ring of Honor?
It's escaping me. I'm a huge fan too. What's his name? What is his name? Marty Skrull. I doubt that's ever going to happen ever. I have nothing. I'm sorry.
Oh man,
I might as well have said like Joey Ryan or some shit. Like, anyways, no, I have no idea. You guys, let me know.
All right. Well, I mean, you still got Nigel McGuinness, but he's still involved with WWE. You still got Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian.
Who's not in it right now? Like, Bryan Danielson, any of those?
He's in it. See, right? Oh yeah, CM Punk. It could be probably CM Punk. Maybe the last one.
Because they don't give a shit about the Forbidden Door the way the WWE does. They're not putting Christian in while he's in AEW or whatever. If he wasn't already in the Hall of Fame. So like, that makes sense. And Matt is now completely disappeared.
He said he'll be back. So, all right. So we have CM Punk then. We could say, I guess so. Do you feel the same, Money Mike?
My sources are telling me that it's Cody Rhodes.
What?
What if that's where he goes?
What, Ring of Honor?
Yeah. Like this WWE contract signing thing, it's still just high percentage speculation, right? We're just like, oh, it's obvious. Yeah, we actually haven't seen the contract.
Listen, I know we're going to talk about it in the wrestling news and whatnot, but I do think Cody should buy Ring of Honor. Or at least get a big ownership of the company or stock or whatever. I know they're not publicly traded, but I would. That's where I would go.
But what about if he teams up with Paul Levesque and buys Ring of Honor?
Even better. 2 thrones, more skulls.
Mouth watering right now. This NXT 3.0.
Right? The 3.0 will be like
the way it should be.
Yeah. Wow. The way it should be, right? Oh my God, right? The way it should be wrestling, pro wrestling, you could say. If that does happen, I'll be wow. But we obviously don't see that happening. By the way, how this going with the Cody Rhodes situation, just want to, like I said, we're gonna have to wait and see because Vince jumped on it right away. Nick Khan telling him to jump on it. He could take. I mean, he's done with Rhodes to the top. He's done with, what's it called? Go Big Show. He's done with the final season finale. But he could get it back if WWE obviously takes him under the wing. And then there you go. There goes your high quality star. A lot of people are predicting that he will go there. And I think the WWE fans will accept him. And this time, they're saying that the hefty money will come involved and creative freedom. Which I don't believe the creative freedom. That's fucking me as bull. I don't believe that shit. Yes. Thank you all for tuning in, brother. Appreciate you very much, man. You have a good night too. But yes, I don't see that. I don't know. I mean, just the final thoughts of this Cody Rhodes situation before we move forward. So anybody wants to take it away on this one?
What is he gonna do? Get on the mic and be like, "Boo me now! I'm a real good guy. How dare you?" Like, what the fuck is the play on the mic? I don't understand what he's trying to like. I'm never gonna be a bad guy because I'm so good to you guys. But just blah blah blah. I don't know what the angle is. I'm gonna have to ride this into the wall.
Yeah, definitely. How about you, Money Mike? Any final thoughts of this?
I like Cody, and I think that WWE should definitely sign him. Why? Because I feel like they've spent time building a star like or shows like Ms. and Mrs. and Bellas and Total Divas and whatnot. But here's a guy that has that already coming into it, not a lot of stuff necessary that, you don't have to start from scratch. He already did most of the work for you. So all you have to do is just put a camera in front of this guy, and here you go. Here's your next entertainment wrestler. Because I feel, he can wrestle, sure, but I feel he And I feel like that's what probably the people at AEW didn't like, that he was too entertainment. He was too WWE for their taste, maybe. So at least that's what I think. WWE should get him. However, on the flip side, he probably shouldn't go to WWE. I think that again, my Ring of Honor idea there, I think that could be cool. And Paul Levesque, get over there. There's nothing for you at NXT anymore. So, Ring of Honor. There you go.
Matt Callis, any final thoughts on the Cody Rhodes?
I think it would really come down to this. If I was in Cody's shoes, once again, I'm not going to stop using this analogy, the big fish, small pond, maybe AEW is starting to turn into such a big pond with a certain flavor to it. Cody can't be in that title. He can't be the main guy. He can't have the TNT title. He's got to let the TNT title for the newer people and the world title for a different other wrestlers that people more likely want to see. So what would I do? I would go to one of the other organizations. I would go be Impact's main guy. I would be GCW's main guy, and I'd be NWA's main guy all at the same time. So everybody wants him to go to NWA. If I was him, I'd go to all three. I'd go to MLW, GCW, Impact, and Ring of Honor, and I'd be the champion, and AAA. I'd be the champion of all five of those. I'll see if I could be the belt collector for everything except for AEW.
The Thanos snap.
Yeah, be because the one place where they don't like him is AEW, but it's not quite the case for all the other places. Maybe because every different promotion has a different audience, every city has a different feeling. I mean, look at Long Island; it's a bizarro world, So who knows what a GCW Cody would be like? Imagine how it's like a rebirth. I mean, at GCW, people were cheering Jeff Jarrett like crazy. So that's once again, I left breadcrumbs to that. Jeff Jarrett, Cody in GCW. Ooh, there you go.
So one thing I'm going to say before we sign off here, and I'm going to let Ivan have the closing comments, but my last comment is that you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become Cody Rhodes.
Hashtag Cody Rhodes. They can't even say anybody but Cody. Anybody but Cody, or
anywhere but Cody.
There you go. Anywhere.
Try different. You should have tried a different gimmick, is what I'm saying. All he had to do was go for a different gimmick.
He's tried that. He's been the Nightmare. He went back to the Dream. He got the Transformer tattoo. He tried the heel good guy. He tried the good heel guy. Like
that's really close to what he is. He should have gone he should have gone either with Fuego or like a super nerd or something.
Like Curry Man.
Curry Man. Everybody would love him. Like, you don't have to be a bad guy. You just need to be somebody else.
All right, love it. Now let's get into the predictions, and I'm only going to predict 3 matches. Very brief.
I got bounced. So I'm going to be my send-off. I appreciate it. That was fun. Decent episode. Not the best. We'll probably not really remember anything that happened in a year, but it's setting up what Revolution might be a landmark pay-per-view. Can't wait to find out.
We'll find out next week. But thank you very much, Director. As he's going to work, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. He'll be back next week. That's what he does.
Love you guys.
Love you. All right, gentlemen, we got to get into this Elimination Chamber because it's coming in this Saturday, of course, on the Cock. It's coming on the Cock, ladies and gentlemen, so make sure on the Cock.
Peacock.
Peacock, okay? Peacock. So we're TVMA, but the Peacock. But there's only 4 matches that I want to talk about very brief because those are the main ones that I feel that we'll find out where we're heading on the road to WrestleMania. So we got to find out. So let me start it off very brief. Start off with, so we got the Elimination Chamber predictions. Becky Lynch versus Lita for the Raw Women's Championship. Take it away, Buddy Mike.
2 words. Becky Lynch. That's it. There's no way Lita is going to take this title so close to WrestleMania. I don't see that happening. No way. If that happens, then I will giveaway. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna. I'll finish that sentence. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Matt Callis.
I mean, Becky Lynch already kind of has, it's you got to give Lita a little bit more offense in this, but I have a feeling they're gonna have just Becky hold on to it. So there you go.
Yeah, same here, Becky. Of course. Now, for me, it's like, so this match should have happened. I don't think it should have happened, but I guess they wanted to, and now we're gonna see them, and I don't know. I don't know how this plays out. If Nita wins, I'll be shocked, because that will throw us off, and I'll be like, what? But if that happens, what about if Becky decides to maybe get herself involved with Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey for Mania? Again, a triple threat match. Well, hopefully we don't see that happening again. So we don't know. That's going to be interesting to see. All right, the next match. We already know. The Tribal Chief himself, of course, Roman Reigns. Not you, Devin. Not you. You're the Tribal Chief of podcasting. We already know. We love you, Devin, but you're the Tribal Chief. You're a Tribal Chief. Acknowledge him. Roman Reigns and Goldberg for I don't know how many time for the Universal Championship. Money Mike.
I don't see this being any better than their last match, to be honest. I have seen a few documentaries where Goldberg says he's disappointed in that match and this and that or whatever, but I just I don't know. I don't see. First of all, I don't see this match lasting long. Spears galore, sure, but yeah, Goldberg's not walking out with that title.
Matt Callis.
This again? Can I have something? Can we serve something different at the cafeteria? Come on. This pizza, this square pizza is kind of stale. It's like this again.
You know what? This match never happened though. It was supposed to happen at Mania, remind you, but it never did. It never happened because I think they switched the COVID, so it switched around. So it never happened. So
that's how disinterested we are in this match. That we feel like it's happened before numerous times, not even just once, numerous times. It seems that way. It feels that way. We're not interested. It seems that like, gosh, even Matt was saying right now, like, we don't want this again, That's how much we don't want it.
Again?
I want to eat somewhere else, Mom.
Yeah.
We have food at home, Mom. We have Goldberg and Roman Reigns at home, Mom.
Oh, my God. And now let's get into... This is the one where we'll find out where we're heading to on the road to WrestleMania. And let's talk about with the women's Elimination Chamber match. You have Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Doudrop, Nikki Ash, and Alexa Bliss, who was the last contestant to be announced. And we don't know if we're going to get the Harley Quinn Bliss or, that Miss Fiend. We don't know yet. It looks like by the highlights of Raw that I'm watching. No, I'm not about to sit down for 3 hours and watch it. I've been watching just the highlights only. 5 minutes of highlights, so I need. And just seeing, her getting cured, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now she's in the picture involved. So the winner of this will face Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. So, who should win this Women's Elimination Chamber match? And who will head on to WrestleMania? Who do you feel fit to face Becky Lynch at WrestleMania? Money Mike. Who do you got, baby?
Wouldn't it be something, I guess piggybacking off what you were saying before, that Becky Lynch loses, right? And she beats up Doudrop or Nikki Ash right before the Elimination Chamber, puts herself in there, and wins the Chamber match to go on to challenge Charlotte or whatever. These things could happen. They have happened. And honestly, I would like to see Becky Lynch in there and win that. because all the other challengers, they've already lost to Becky Lynch. So, yeah, I mean, okay, really, Nikki Ash at WrestleMania title shot? No. Doudrop, we just saw that. Bianca Belair, she lost in record time. Rhea Ripley, okay, interesting, but I don't think the momentum is on her side right now. The only one is Alexa Bliss.
So you got Alexa then taking over.
Yes.
All right, I love that. All right, I love it. Matt Callis, who do you got out of all these women?
I'm gonna go for Rhea Ripley because you know, especially for our fellow Bull Terrier owners, you know. But Rhea Ripley looked really good in the Rumble, and you know, she's a very much liked babyface, and you know, if correct me if I'm wrong, guys, she hasn't held any of the main roster titles yet, correct?
Tag team.
But no, she held the Raw. She lost it.
Oh, that's right.
Raw Women's title. Let's get her back in the picture. I think that'll be a fun main event, at least more interesting than, you know, whatever else. There you go.
This is gonna be tough for me because, man, I wouldn't mind Rhea or Alexa, to be honest. The biggest question here is, I know none of us three could admit, I mean, we don't really watch 3 hours of Raw for us to say, oh, you know, who has the better momentum. But by the highlights of what I've been looking, it's more between Alexa and Rhea. I would love Liv Morgan because she's an underdog, but the unfortunate part that she's not going to win. And I hate that. She could have had that opportunity. Right? You agree with me? Yeah. You agree with me. But it looks like it might be, I'm going to have to go with Alexa Bliss on this one. As much as I want Liv, but I think Alexa will be the one that unexpectedly catches off guard. Oh my gosh, she won it. She's going to Mania. And then Becky starts becoming scared of her. And her fiend starts to come out once again and, you know, be coming to fruition and coming back. And that could happen. So there you go. Alexa Bliss. And we got Rhea Ripley. So we'll find out this Saturday. And of course, the last one of this, you know, match that we're going to find out what is the story for WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania, is now the men's Elimination Chamber, which we have Bobby Lashley defending the WWE Championship versus Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, Riddle, and AJ Styles. So, Money Mike, are we going to see title for title at Mania? Since Lesnar already declared his Rumble winning against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the Universal title. Been saying it on Raw that, oh yeah, I want to win a belt. I'll win it back. Make it title for title at Mania. Are we going to see that happening here? Are we going to see Lesnar walking away with the WWE Championship? Or do you see Bobby retaining or someone unexpectedly here in this chamber?
All right. So, my prediction is that Bobby Lashley's going to win. I do believe Lashley's winning. They wouldn't have put the title on him otherwise. Right? If the plan would have been champion versus champion, they would have kept the belt on Lesnar and made him look strong all the way to WrestleMania. But that's not the case, right? We've got Bobby Lashley as champion. I do believe that he's going to remain looking strong by winning this. And as for his challenger WrestleMania, who knows who it'll be, but I think he's walking away from this still champ.
All right. I like that. Matt Callis, who do you got?
It's you know, you could go for the Almighty or Broccoli Lesnar, you know. Broccoli
And Broccoli Lesnar.
Broccoli Lesnar. My name is Paul Haymitch, or I don't know. Paul something with me. Paul Cabbage.
Paul Cabbage. There you go.
Paul Cabbage and Broccoli Lesnar. Very vegetable, you know. I things are looking up for the Brock, man. Especially, you know, him breaking a table with just laying his hand on it or something. What was that?
Oh
He did
yeah,
that. He did that earlier this week or sometimes.
on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, just like
Let's talk about that. By the way, I really, you know what, very brief about that, but go ahead, make your pick on this one. So you got Broccoli Lesnar or Lashley, or who else? Oh, it's a Brock title for title. Then we're gonna see a Mania, huh? That's what it is. This is the. I am undecided. It is hard, but I'm gonna have to choose one. What if? Oh no, I'm not gonna do a what if here. But coming soon, we are gonna have a circle debate. What if? Maybe. You never know. But, all right. So I'm gonna pick Brock Lesnar. You know what? You know what? No. I'll pick Lashley. Lashley retains. Screw it.
Yes,
Lashley retains.
Lashley.
Yes, we're going to get into that, ladies and gentlemen, and here we have it. So let's get into it. Trent Hatchet, thank you for tuning in. And let's talk about it. And that is the predictions for the Impact Wrestling No Surrender coming to you this Saturday, right after Elimination Chamber. That will be, of course, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern. Make sure you tune in on Impact Plus, purchase it, and you're going to be enjoying this incredible stack card. I'm just going to go through it very quick before we end the show here. This is the final topic of the night, ladies and gentlemen. So we have 11 matches here. That's amazing. 11 fucking matches. And here we go. So we have Trey Miguel versus John Skyler. We have Tenille Dashwood versus Havoc. We have, of course, Black Taurus versus Jonah. That's going to be interesting because the Black Taurus versus Jonah, that's going to be interesting. And, of course, we have Ace Austin versus Chris Bay versus Jake Something versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Kudos to you, Speedball, coming from you from, of course, our family over there up in Canada. Fatal 4-ways for the number one contendership for the X Division title between all four of them. And, of course, we do have Eric Young versus Jay White in a singles match. I know Matt's going, I know you want to see that. Yes, I know you do. And we do see Matt Cardona defending his Digital and Media Impact versus Championship versus Jordan Grace. Deonna Purrazzo, open challenge for the AAA Reina de Reinas Championship, whoever, or the Ring of Honor Women's Championship, open to be determined who's going to be announced, who will be challenging her. Mickie James versus Tasha Steelz for the Impact Women's Championship. We have, of course, Team Impact, Chris Sabin, Eddie Edwards, Rhino, Rich Swann, and Steve Macklin versus Honor No More, which is Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, PCO, Vincent, and Kenny King. And, of course, we have the Impact World Tag Team Champions, which is the one that we're all excited because the Good Brothers, but of course, Doc Gallows and Carlos defending their tag team championship versus the Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. And of course, the main event that we wanted to see, and that is the Impact World Championship. Moose defending the Impact World title versus W. Morrissey. So this is a stacked card, gentlemen. I am excited. I think all of the matches are phenomenal because I want to see who's going to challenge Deonna Purrazzo. I want to see Jay White and Eric Young. I want to see that. I want to see Jonah and Black Taurus. Matt Cardona is the most popular Impact heel right now that we have in a professional wrestling industry right now at this freaking moment, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you like it or not, for you guys who are watching or listening, Matt Cardona is the shit right now. He's killing it all over the independent circuit. He's taking what he was taught around the world of professional wrestling. So, Money Mike, your thoughts about this incredible stack card, and which match are you looking forward to see?
Stacked card for sure. I'm looking forward to the main event. I want to see. Honestly, I would like to see Morrissey become champion. I wouldn't mind that. I would be okay with it. The guy is 7 feet tall, and really, you can't teach that at all. no classes, no degrees exist on that sort of thing. So, yeah, I would want for him to be champion. But I know Moose has a good grip on that belt. Matt Cardona, he is the guy right now and everywhere. It's such a trip to see him in NWA, then in Impact, and then in GCW, right? It's pretty cool, you know. And honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing him in AEW again, but that's beside the point. It's a stacked card, and I look forward to all the matches.
Awesome. I already know what Matt got to say, but I still want to hear it. I want to hear it. Talk to me, Mr. 69. Give your 69 answers.
I think this should say it all right here. Let me see your wolf pack right now. Let's see your 2 sweets, everybody. Yeah, Bullet Club victories all across. I think the one thing I think I probably even enjoyed the promos more than the matches, because like Guerrillas of Destiny were like, oh yeah, Good Brothers, you've been everywhere because you've been fired from everywhere. Mama Tonga is another underrated promo. Like, I'm just waiting for him to cut promos in the AEW ring so I could hear the pop that the audience are going to give for all the venom that Tama Tonga can spit. You know, I mean, Jay White was on AEW, was doing some had a short little promo segment, but I hope he does some in-ring promos as well. But his in-ring promo was pretty solid there. You know, him and Eric Young exchanging combat words. So I know him and Eric Young definitely have a lot of cool stuff to do that night. But I want Guerrillas of Destiny to get those titles. And, you know, Deonna Purrazzo for the AAA Reina, you know, championship. I hope somebody, you know, it would be interesting. I don't know how many Japanese wrestlers have held a AAA title, so it's still an open challenge, right?
Yes, open challenge.
So, but I want to see a Joshi take home a Mexican title, a Mexican title.
I have a feeling we're gonna see La Güera Loca showing up, maybe. Taya Valkyrie, we might see La Güera Loca, Taya Valkyrie making the comeback to Impact. That's right. We might see that. So this is a lot of
things to see. W. Morrissey, I'll agree with you, Mike. You know, I think I've been missing out on him. You know, this Impact, like I said, Impact and AEW are neck and neck, in my opinion, at the moment, as far as content and abilities. Like content and product, I'll say Impact and AEW are neck and neck. You know, I don't think one's better than the other. I think they're neck and neck. And then WWE is like, you know, a little.
For us.
What about New Japan?
Yeah, New Japan's also on that level. It's a little bit like maybe like a half foot ahead, and then Noah is one more person ahead.
It's like it's the next level of consciousness, all balanced out.
Next level consciousness, yeah. DDT and All Japan and Dragon Gate.
What about those Stamford Stooges?
Oh man, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What a long week we all had, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we looked burned the hell out because we had a long week with our missus that we love very dearly, and we don't mean that in a bad way. We love you because I know you're watching.
Of course.
But also besides that long work week and a lot of professional wrestling we've been keeping an eye on and reporting it to you guys and giving it to you guys our thoughts, our opinions of what's going on in the professional wrestling world. So I want to go ahead and thank everybody for tuning in this evening here, and for all of our audio platform listeners as well. Thank you so much for watching. But before we let you go, I am going to go ahead and say it very quickly. Gracias a todos en español por aquí suscribiendo a nuestro canal del Circo Debate. Lo agradecemos mucho por apoyarnos y todo el soporte. Y gracias por todo el amor y todo el soporte otra vez. Y no se os olvide de que suscribe a nuestro canal. Abajo donde dice la notificación, donde está el botón suscribe. Y también en la campana para que agarre las notificaciones. Para que los puedas seguir reportando aquí en vivo cada jueves aquí en el canal de nuestro YouTube y en nuestra página de Facebook, que los puedes seguir también. Donde sea, tenemos Twitter y también Facebook y Instagram. Todo eso va a estar abajo en los detalles.
¿Y sabes qué también tenemos? Tenemos hambre.
Oh, sí, con hambre. Con hambre, sí, hambre, tenemos hambre.
Hambre.
Sí.
Chocolate dolce muffin. Dolce.
Quesadilla, burrito.
Oh man, that sounds bomb right now. Oh my god,
Dolce.
you're making me hungry.
It's just sitting on my counter saying, Matthew, I'm lonely, eat me now.
I am so lonely. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. But yes, once again, thank you very much for all of our audio platform listeners for listening and tuning in. I'm going to let Horse Money Mike take it away to all of our European listeners around the world and all over, everywhere.
En todos lados.
Sí.
Alles Sie würden. Danke für hören Sie Circle of Debate und sehen Sie aus YouTube. Danke, vielen Danke. Sehr gut. Tschüss.
Tschüss. And of course, Matt Callis, do you have anything to say in any other language?
Jollibee.
Jollibee.
Oh my god, Charlie. Oh, that sounds bomb. Jollibee sounds so good.
Mike, Königreich Württemberg, Österreich and Deutschland.
Ja,
ja.
gut.
Königreich Baden, Königreich das Bayern, Preußen.
Bayern ist schön, ja.
Ja. Nice.
What? And there you have it, gentlemen. We'll be back next Thursday as we'll give you our recap for Elimination Chamber, No Surrender, of course, AEW Dynamite, as we're heading to the road for Revolution and the road for WrestleMania, and keeping you updated, with pro wrestling news and much, much more. Once again, we appreciate you guys for tuning in here at episode 90, and also before.
No mercy, no surrender.
That is right. No mercy, no surrender, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll let Matt Callis close it out here. What do we do on the COD, Mr. 69?
We don't make podcasts. We make Batman history.
That's right, baby.
Batman and the League of Shadows.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, everybody.